Hi, it's Wendy with this week's card reading. So our very first card this week, interestingly, is the Shaman's Death card. Now, this is the same card that we picked last week, so it's a powerful message to us. We are still in process, so it's important for you to reflect not just on this week coming up, but also to recognize the transition that you are in. So again, the Shaman's Death card speaks to a spiritual transition. It speaks to releasing and letting go of our smaller identity and stepping in to our spiritual power, stepping into the wholeness of who we are at that divine level. And that is always about being and sharing that which we most authentically are, that which we came here to experience, which that piece of us that remains consistent throughout all of our lifetimes and experiences, the uniqueness of you. So it is a powerful time to step into that. Now, the block for stepping into our wholeness with the Shaman's Death card is fear. So let's talk about that. So the gift of the shaman's death, and I talked about that ceremony in last week's reading, so you might want to listen to that, is that after this transition process of facing your own fear, you are able to stay centered and grounded in the truth of who you are, even when faced with fearful or difficult circumstances. So it's like a mental spiritual adjustment where once you face the worst and come through the other side, you are not frightened by that experience anymore. So it's really about taking the wisdom of the fear, not being in resistance to fear, not worrying about fear, but allowing fear to come up and let it heighten your senses to those things you might be overlooking and step strongly into it. I say on a spiritual level, the fear is always pointing you exactly where you most need to go. So move into that growth edge, step into that bigger place. Just stay centered in the knowingness of who you are. And take the time to honor your spiritual practice so that you can live that out in the world in a more powerful way. So again, you're in a transition. It's okay to let the old go. Is there any way that you were resisting that? So on an emotional level, we do that by, like, for example, we say we want to forgive and we preach forgiveness and we even work on forgiveness, but there are seeds of bitterness or resentment that we still hold on to, right? So it's always about looking at what are we getting out of that which we continue to hold on to, right? How would your life be different without it? Or what story are we still playing about that? Or what still needs to be healed? It's not a question of judging ourselves. It's a question of noticing that which still is calling to be healed and that next layer of healing. So honor that within yourself. I actually suggest that for this week, you keep a fear journal. I'm a big proponent of fear, right? We don't do any good by resisting it. Let's put it out on the table and look at it. So write all those things you're afraid of. What are the things that hold you back? What are the things you're afraid? If I step into my bigger self, this will happen, this will happen, this will happen. People won't love me. People will reject me. People will say this. People will say that. You know, write them all down. Write them all down. And then sit in ceremony with them and come to that place of your deeper self and say, and then what? Layer it down. Then what would happen? Breathe into it. Then what would happen? Breathe in. Then what would happen? And what you'll find is that you will move beautifully through those layers of emotion into a very solid place. where at the heart of you, when you can touch into that still place at the heart of you, under all the muddy waters of the emotion, you will find that you are whole. No matter what, you are whole. No matter what, you are going to be okay, that you have the support of your allies, you have the support of the universe. And the universe is just waiting to bring in all those other people to support you. Loss really is an illusion, in the words of Marianne Williamson, right? Nothing real can be lost. Nothing unreal exists. So allow yourself to find that place of realness within you where you know the truth of eternity. And then our animal ally for this week, and that is the owl. And so the owl is very powerful medicine to help you in this, because owl medicine is all about what aren't we seeing? What aren't we allowing ourselves to see? What is our subconscious trying to bubble up for us and tell us and warn us about? And also, how can we deal with our shadow? So our shadow is a powerful part of us. If we love it into wholeness within us, it serves us, right? What is light without shadow? What is shadow without light? They have a divine dance where each reveals the truth about the other. So how can you embrace your shadow in this process? How can you love your shadow? And how can you love your light? And please, step into both so that we can have your gifts and your beingness here in the world. You are the answer that we have all been praying for. So, many thoughts for this week. Blessings on this continued transition into your wholeness. Please feel free to comment in the comments or private message me and let me know how this resonates with you and how you are transitioning in your life. Many, many blessings and love. Until I see you again, may we all walk in beauty.